All right, let's trade in those spreadsheets and those emails for something a little bit more exciting today. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
We're going on a little virtual journey. Um, Passport not required, though. Just your sense of adventure. We're diving into a travel newsletter all about South Africa.
Ah, South Africa. Now that's a place that's been on my list for a while.
Right, and it's, for good reason, it's one of those destinations that truly has it all. Mountains, coastlines, wildlife you won't find anywhere else, vibrant cities, you name it, South Africa's probably got it. This newsletter really captures that. And we're going to kind of break it down for you today, show you what makes South Africa so special, what we're so excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we find.
Yeah. Well, to kick things off, let's talk about the Two Oceans Aquarium in Cape Town.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Have you?
Yeah, it's not your average aquarium, is it?
No, no, it's not. So we're talking about seeing marine life from both the Indian and Atlantic Oceans, all in one place.
It's because of that unique spot where the warm Agulas and the cold Benguela currents meet, right?
Exactly.
Creates this incredible mix of biodiversity.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like, imagine in one exhibit, you might be watching these playful African penguins.
Right. I love penguins.
So cute. But then, in the next tank over, you could be face to face with a majestic shark or even a devil firefish. You ever seen one of those?
Oh, wow. They're incredibly venomous, right?
It's stunning, but venomous. I mean, it really makes you appreciate the delicate balance of those ecosystems,
It
right?
really does.
I mean, you've got this beauty, but then you've got this danger lurking just beneath the surface.
Yeah. Speaking of balance, what I found really cool about this aquarium is the different ways you can experience it. A casual visit is always nice, but you can also become a member and visit year-round. They even offer scuba diving classes.
Yeah, that's next level. I mean, imagine learning to scuba dive in an aquarium with all those creatures around you.
That would be amazing. I think it really speaks to their commitment to conservation and education.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, places like this are so vital for helping people understand and protect our oceans.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now, the newsletter also highlighted Limpopo Province, and this just sounds like the perfect example of South Africa's diversity, right? Because on one hand, you've got the iconic Kruger National Park.
Oh, yeah. Lions, elephants, giraffes. The classic safari experience. I mean, who doesn't want to see that?
Exactly. And then, in complete contrast, you have the Soutpansberg Mountains. So picture this, right? You're hiking through these ancient peaks, discovering hidden waterfalls, taking in these incredible panoramic views. It's a totally different vibe.
That kind of contrast is what makes a trip truly memorable. You get to experience multiple sides of a destination.
Right. And Limpopo's not just about the landscapes either. The newsletter also talked about experiencing the traditions of the Venda and Sangha people.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's about diving into the real cultural heart of South Africa, right?
Exactly. Their unique art, their crafts, music, cuisine. It's a chance to connect with traditions that have been passed down for generations.
Mm.
It's not just about the sights you see. It's about the people you meet and the stories you hear.
Yeah, it's about immersing yourself in a different way of life.
That's what makes South Africa so special. Not just a beautiful place. It's a place full of stories and history and a cultural richness you can really feel. Now, speaking of Cape Town and the city itself, the newsletter had a few around-the-web suggestions. And honestly, one that really surprised me was fly fishing in Cape Town.
Fly fishing. In Cape Town, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think about the city, is it?
Right. I mean, it seems so unexpected. But imagine this. You're casting your line with Table Mountain as your backdrop. You're in this bustling city, yet you found this little pocket of tranquility.
And the types of fish you can catch there, like the Cape yellowfish. It's a unique challenge, even for experienced anglers.
I love it. So you've got the beauty of the city, the thrill of the catch, and a bit of peace and quiet all rolled into one.
South Africa really loves to defy expectations, doesn't it?
It does. And that brings us to another interesting tidbit from the newsletter. Signal Hill. You familiar with this one?
Oh, yeah, Signal Hill. Isn't it nicknamed the Lion's Rump?
That's the one. And for good reason, because it sits right next to the famous Lion's Head Peak. And from Signal Hill, you get these absolutely breathtaking panoramic views of Cape Town, Table Mountain, and the ocean. The newsletter called it the perfect spot to watch the sunset.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list. Sunset at Signal Hill. Check.
Right. And while we're talking about Cape Town's history, I think it's important to touch on District 6, The newsletter briefly mentioned it, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper into its significance.
Oh, absolutely. District 6 is a powerful reminder of South Africa's past. It was this thriving multicultural community in the heart of Cape Town. Until the 1960s, when the apartheid government forcibly removed thousands of residents and demolished their homes.
A really heartbreaking chapter in South Africa's history. But what's inspiring is that today there's a museum and memorial dedicated to remembering District 6 and honoring the resilience of its people.
It's a testament to the power of memory and the importance of understanding even the darkest chapters of history.
And it's a reminder that a place like Cape Town holds layers upon layers of stories. And you can feel that depth as you walk its streets. It's not just a pretty facade. There's real substance there.
Exactly. And those layers extend to the variety of experiences you can have in South Africa. Whether you're looking for adventure or relaxation, indulgence or cultural immersion, there's truly something for everyone. And speaking of something for everyone, the newsletter had this section called Only in South Africa.
Oh, yeah?
And one of the suggestions was shark cage diving, but at the Two Oceans Aquarium.
Okay, that one.
That's the one that caught my eye, too.
That was the one that really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
I mean, where else can you do that?
Yeah.
Shark cage diving in an aquarium.
It's like you get the thrill, but it's controlled, right? You're not out in the open ocean.
Yeah.
But you're still face to face with these incredible creatures.
Right. It's like the best of both worlds. You get that adrenaline rush, but you're in a safe environment.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really cool way to learn about sharks, too.
Yeah.
See them up close and personal and really appreciate their power and their grace.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could handle it. I'm a little bit scared of sharks, to be honest.
Oh, come on. It'd be an adventure.
I know. You're probably right. I'd have to work up to it, but it's definitely on the maybe list.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, another thing that surprised me were the glamping suggestions.
Oh, yeah. Glamping in South Africa. I mean, talk about a unique experience.
Right. I'm usually a hotel person all the way, but the idea of falling asleep under the stars in the African wilderness, that's pretty tempting.
Right. And it's not like roughing it either.
Right.
We're talking about luxury setups here, like yurts and safari tents with all the amenities.
Oh, wow. King-size beds, private decks, maybe even a hot tub. So you get that immersive nature experience, but with a touch of comfort.
All right. You've convinced me glamping in South Africa, it is.
Yes.
Now, this next one, I'm already on board with oysters.
Oh, yes. The newsletter even mentioned Gavin Schlephoff from the Niesna Oyster Company.
I've heard great things.
Apparently their oysters are some of the best in the world.
Well, I'm a huge oyster fan, so I'm definitely going to have to try those.
I think you'll love them. They're known for their sustainable farming practices, too, so you can feel good about indulging.
Perfect. Fresh oysters, stunning views. What more could you ask for?
It just goes to show, South Africa really does cater to every travel style, adventure relaxation, cultural exploration, foodie delights, you name it, they've got it.
I love that. And it's not just about, checking things off a list. It's about really experiencing the place, connecting with its history and its culture, and finding those little moments that make a trip truly special.
Exactly. It's about embracing the unexpected and discovering those hidden gems that make a destination truly unique.
And for our listeners out there, I think we want to kind of leave you with that same feeling, that feeling of anticipation, that sense of adventure waiting around every corner.
Right. Just imagine it. You're standing on Signal Hill overlooking Cape Town.
Oh, yeah.
With the vast ocean stretching out before you. What adventure awaits you in South Africa?
What hidden gem are you going to uncover?
Exactly. And remember, the newsletter emphasized planning goes a long way, especially if you're traveling during peak season.
Right.
So, start exploring, start dreaming, and get ready to experience South Africa for yourself.
Yeah. It's a place that you really got to see to believe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into South Africa.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you're feeling inspired to embark on your own adventure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.